Hello and welcome. Now in this course we're going to continue to explore Zapier, and in particular you'll notice that if you have typed into the search bar you may have typed in the word Zapier, and if you did you'll notice that there are a number of different applications for you to explore. Now these do not fall under web applications, however they are very important in doing different kinds of automations. And we'll look at the most relevant ones in this course. You may have also noticed during your own exploration that there are multi-step automations. We'll review some of those automations in this course. We'll also take a look at some more complex social media automations. So in the next video, we'll get started by looking at multi-step integrations. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the first video. Welcome back. When you are exploring some of the productivity applications, you'll notice a number of multi-step applications. And multi-step means that you have more than two steps in the process. As you can see here, here's one where there's Trello, Evernote, and then Trello again. When you have those automations, they do require an extra step that you'll need to set up in order to get them working. The advantage, of course, is that this is considered to be one Zap and that you will not have to go through two processes in order to get these things to work. So in this video, we're going to work through a multi-step application using Gmail, Trello, and Google Sheets. We're going to start by clicking Use this Zap. We're going to start the process by creating this Zap. And the trigger to the process will be an email that we star in our Gmail account. We're going to click Continue. Then we'll connect the Gmail account that we're going to be working in. We'll then allow Zapier access to our Google account. We'll then test the account. Once we confirm success, we'll then click Save and Continue. Now before we can proceed, we'll need to go and check our Gmail account to make sure that we have at least one email that has been starred. Now we do have some starred emails, but we'll star others so that we can make sure that this Zap is going to be working. And now that we've confirmed, we'll click Fetch and Continue. We've confirmed and our test is successful. We'll then click Continue. Now the next step in the process is that we're going to be using Trello. So we will then continue this process and then we will connect our Trello account. We will then allow Zapier to use our Trello account and then we'll click Save and Continue. We're now going to choose a specific board. We'll then choose a specific list within that board. And we can then choose the elements that we want. We can use the advanced options. We can also choose not to use the description. Once we have the elements that we want, we'll then click Continue. We've now sent the test card to Trello and we can now click Continue. And now we can move on to the third step in the process, which is to create a spreadsheet row. So we're going to click Continue. We're now going to access our Google account. We're going to give Zapier access to our Google Drive and click Allow. We're going to test the process to make sure that it's connecting. When we confirm, we'll then click Save and Continue. And now what we'll need to do is to pick a specific spreadsheet. And then we'll pick a worksheet within that spreadsheet. We can customize the post and you'll see that these fields are going to be optional. We're going to click Continue. We'll now click and send the test to Google Sheets. And we confirm that a spreadsheet row has just been sent and we'll now click Finish. And now our Zap is turned on for all three levels: Gmail, Trello, and Google Sheets. And we can see in Trello that our card has been created and our Zap is now ready to be run. Now just to reference, you'll notice that in the spreadsheet that there is a title column, a first name and last name column. And in order to see data on the slide, we'd have to update that information in the actual Zap. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to take a look at some of the advanced social media automations. Now, Zapier gives you access to automate data between 4 of the major social media sites: Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. There's also Instagram. Now, if you scroll through the available applications, you'll notice that at least one of them has a multi-step process. And this is where you'd be sharing Flickr photos on Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. So we're going to take a look at this Zap. And basically, we'll be sharing this one photo across 3 applications: Twitter, Facebook pages, and Pinterest. However, this is a multi-step automation. What we're going to do is going to click Create this Zap. And then we're going to add a new photo. We're going to connect a Flickr account. We'll verify that this has been a successful connection, and then we'll click Save and Continue. We'll then need to go into our Flickr account to make sure that we have at least one new photo created. Once we've done that, we'll click Fetch and Continue. And then we'll verify that our test is successful. We'll then click Continue. And then we're ready to create an image tweet. We're then going to click Continue. We'll then test our Twitter account. Once we verify that it is successful, we'll then click Save and Continue. We'll then write in the text that we want to appear in the tweet. And then we'll click Continue. We'll then send the test to Twitter. Once we verify that the tweet has been sent, we'll then click Continue. We're now ready to go to the next step in the process, which is to create a photo on one of our Facebook pages. So we'll then click Continue. We'll now connect our Facebook account. We'll test to make sure that it is connecting. And then we'll click Save and Continue. Now in this particular Zap, we're required to choose one of our pages. And this is important to note, that not all Zaps will be the same. You do have the opportunity to choose the page in this particular one, but every Zap is going to be different in its requirements in the setup phase. So now that our page has been selected, our photo is ready, we're then going to click Continue. We can then send the test to our Facebook page, and then we can click Continue. Now the last step in the process is that we will be creating a pin. And so we're going to click Continue. And we're now going to connect a Pinterest account. We're then going to click OK. We're going to test our connection to Pinterest. Once we verify it is successful, we'll then click Save and Continue. Then we'll determine which board inside of Pinterest that we want the actual image to go to. And once we have our data in, we will then click Continue. We'll then send the test post to Pinterest. And then we'll click Finish. Once we complete this process, our Zap is then turned on. And so now by posting the photo to Flickr, it will auto post to Twitter, our Facebook page, and our Pinterest board. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.